Welcome back to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of North Andrew Reese, and I am back for the second part of What's on Your Mind. Although this will be the first part when you see on your video. I am joined by, as always, by Jose Carlos Gomes and our special guest, Brian King Hosein from To The Point. Please like, subscribe, and let us know what you think of our videos. If you have any comments on the topics we are talking about, please post them and we will respond and we will tell you what we think in response to what you think. I've added a lot of new followers and friends on Twitter. All you guys out there that I'm on the Twitter Spaces with, subscribe, like, and comment. Okay, I need your thoughts on our show, what we can do to make it better, what you like and dislike. I'm open, guys. To me, there's no such thing as bad controversy, bad press, or bad bad anything. Good and bad is
Uh,
good for me.
unless you're Brian that likes the Vikings and the
Yeah,
Cowboys and
yeah.
every other team that
Then it's a
plays
little
against,
different.
yeah, then
Yeah. So I'm gonna let Jose and Brian go, but I'm just gonna say one more thing I'm sure they're gonna go at. Nick Nurse needs to be fired. Go ahead.
Okay, we're not going to get into that because both of you are going to be on to the point, and we are
Yeah.
going to speak
Yeah.
about that. And
Jose,
we
did you want to finish first, or do you want to let Brian go?
no, Brian.
Okay.
Skip and myself would love to thank both of you guys for coming on our show, which we very much do appreciate. We do appreciate your mind, so we could say it. So I'm going to start off by saying good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in on the Reese Report with the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, Jose Gomes, and special guest myself. So let me bring up something to you. Jose, we've spoken about this candidly, and I have we have some ideas. Like Reese, Jose, you guys, and obviously myself, we are definitely not American, and you guys are of European descent, and obviously I'm from Indian descent. But when we look at the landscape of the NBA as it is right now, I gotta ask you, Jose. I'm gonna ask you, Reese. Do you think the world players can take out the American players?
Let me answer that. I'll go first. I think right now you have maybe I'll say three of the best five players in the NBA right now that are European. We'll go Giannis, we'll go Luka and Jokic.
And Luka? Yep.
Yeah. But besides that, I don't think you can say that the Europeans are taking over the NBA.
Not the European, the world, the world.
The world. I say the world. Even if you go 5-on-5, even or a full team against another American full team, I just think the American full team will beat the world. Besides those three big players, and maybe add Embiid also on the team, and then maybe get a Gil, what's his name, that guy from OKC, the Canadian guy. Oh,
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah. So besides them, like right now, I just don't. I don't see them. And then who you gonna have on the bench, like coming in and stuff like that, like right? Well, Americans, you're stacked. You can have like do this. The Americans are like the Brazil of a soccer team. They can put like 5, 6 teams in the World Championship, and they'll stop probably come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 place. You know what I mean? So it's just, I guess the Americans have like too many options to pick from, in my personally, from my opinion. But right now, the best three players, maybe three out of the five best players in the NBA are European. But if they were to play a game, like a game with all the players and stuff like that, I think the Americans would win.
Reese, you want to go before I start?
All right. So the Americans would be favorite. No question, because of the dearth of talent that they have. Now, I decided to put a list together that was European only world only, because we all know the American players, they have a load to select from. And so I'm gonna make my case that the Europeans can win this matchup and would make it very competitive. Number one, recently, the Americans have had their issues with European teams that aren't loaded. Spain, France,
Back in the
even
day.
Lithuania,
so
Croatia.
they've had some issues with teams that are not loaded. So let me just tell you the ways. Number one, the last 3 MVPs and one player who's been an MVP candidate are Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid. Those 3 players alone are going to cause problems, okay? Especially Jokic, who can create offense and make the entire team look better. Just ask the Denver Nuggets. Now, so I got Luka Doncic, who can play shooting guard on this team. He's one of the best players in the league, can also make everyone else look better.
But he's a point guard. He's a point guard.
He could play point guard. Rudy Gobert, to a lesser extent, can come off your bench and give some guys a break and be a good defensive player. Even though I think he's an overrated defensive player. Sabonis from Sacramento, he can play. He can give some guys rest off the bench. Ben Simmons, to a lesser extent, can come off the bench and give you some defense. He can set some guys up.
Like, I can't even
right?
shoot. Are you kidding me, bro?
He can't shoot at all.
Let him go fuck a Jenner.
He can't shoot at all, but he can give you 10 or 15 minutes in a game where he can play good defense. He's not going to do anything else because he's garbage on the offensive end. Then you got Al Horford, a guy with good experience who can hit threes from the outside, was on the Boston Championship Finals team last year. Pascal Siakam, everyone forgot about him. He can play. No reason why he can't be effective on this team. Shai Gilgeous will be the starting point guard, and I put Luka Doncic at shooting guard. You got a starting 5 that could easily be competitive with the States. Porzingis can play off the bench. You have Andrew Wiggins who can play on this team off the bench. So I've given you 10 players already that are either all NBA players, all stars, or MVPs in the NBA right now that can compete against any American team. So yes, I believe the Europeans can win and would win some games, if not make this series very interesting, and might even get a game winner from Luka to win it. So yes, the Europeans would have a chance.
Put on the U.S. team though.
I just created a European team because the U.S. team is known, and you can select a million guys for the U.S. team, and 100%. Any one of those teams would be good, right?
Listen, I'll give you 5 right now. Curry, LeBron, Jason Tatum. You can pick Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. Man, you can go on and on and on and on with the Team USA.
Yeah,
like they're stacked. They're stacked. Like
now, but they have chemistry. Here's the other thing I wanted to mention: the chemistry issue. The Americans have always had. They've always had chemistry issues, right? The Europeans or the world team would not have any chemistry issues. That's for sure.
Can we get into that?
I totally disagree.
Can I go with mine?
Go ahead, Brian.
Because I got over 20 something non-US players. Okay, my starting lineup is going to be Jokic at the center, Giannis power forward, and Giannis at small forward, Embiid at power forward, Luka at the point guard, and I agree with you, Jose, Shai on the at the point guard, right? But then again, we also got DeAndre Ayton. Nobody mentioned him. We got Sabonis, which you said, Breeze. We got Pascal, which you said. We got Wiggins, Canadian boy, which you said. We got Jamal Murray, another Canadian boy, right? That nobody said. We got Vucevic. We got both Bojan and Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
Right? We also got, don't forget OG, right? Also think of Slim Duck right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Europeans, the world team would have a lot of players.
Hold on. I'm not done. You got Markkanen, okay? You got RJ Barrett. You got Zubac. You got Vons Wagner, okay? Probably has some stake in the Mercedes business in Germany. You got Joe Ingles, right? You got Lou Dort, right? You got Boucher. Okay.
There are a lot of players, right?
You also got Duarte, right? Not to mention there are so many that the out of the world can throw at them. But I also wanted to talk about the, like you said, the chemistry. like you said, Reese, chemistry. So
Yeah.
when we look up and down the line of the players that are on that can be on the American team, you got LeBum, right? You got Tatum, you got Steph, you can have Clay, right? You can have Trae Young, right? You can have Karl Anthony Towns, which you did mention.
Devin
You
Booker.
can have Drew Holiday, right? You can have
Okay.
Jimmy Butler, right? You can have Donovan Mitchell, Devin
Right.
Booker, Bradley Beal, Zion Williamson, Chris Paul, right? You can have Dame Lillard, right?
Yeah.
And you can
I
have
forgot
James
about him
Harden.
too. Like,
You can have
come
Kawhi
on.
Leonard. You can have Paul George. You can
So
have
so
Kyle
Jose
Lowry.
thinks the Americans will destroy the world.
I
What
don't
do you
say
think,
they
Brian?
destroy them, but they'll beat them in a 7-game series. They'll beat them.
No,
What do
no,
you,
it won't happen.
so we've said
There's no
enough players,
chemistry.
Brian. Tell me who you
There's
like.
no, there's no chemistry. There's no chemistry with the American players. There's none.
And how is there a
Did you guys,
chemistry
did you
with
guys
the
watch the
European?
Redeem team?
They played
Did you
together in
guys
the
watch?
offseason.
Did you guys
Who
watch the
the
Redeem
Europeans
team?
played with together in the
And they played
offseason?
together before the NBA.
Yes.
When does Jokic play with freaking Doncic? One's Serbian, one's Slovenian. That has nothing to do with it.
It has
So
nothing to
what?
do with where they're from.
So
They're just
before they
out of-
come to the NBA, they're playing together in European leagues before they even come here.
Okay, some of them are, not all of them.
Wait, let me give you a stat. Luka was playing at 13 years old in a professional league.
Yeah,
and he
100%.
And he put up 30 points in a game. A
No,
13-year-old
100%. Listen,
grown-ass man.
I just think the Americans, even with who, like Popovich coaching them, they'll get chemistry, man, and he'll create a team that that can stop the European team. I just think personally, the Americans have too many players to pick from, and there would be a team, like a dream team, like that they can build chemistry, and I think they'll beat them. I just think they have too much talent, the Americans.
My point was
I highly
that
disagree.
it would be much closer than it ever would have been years ago, because of the talent that's on Team World now.
100%, 100%.
So Jose, and we'll get back to you, Brian. But Jose, what's on your mind, and then we'll see what else is on Brian's mind in the current world of sports.
What else is on my mind? It's just the Raptors, man. They're confusing me, man. Like, I don't understand, dude. Are you guys tanking? Are you guys winning, trying to win so you can make the playoffs? Man, you gotta make up your mind. Like,
Save that shit for tomorrow.
Like, I just don't understand. Like, if you're gonna tank, start trading players, start getting rid of players, or start losing games. Like, it's one or the other. Now they're winning games. They're winning tonight against Sacramento. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you guys are if you want to tank, dude, you have no team to win the first round of the playoffs. So, what's the point of you keeping these guys, or like, you know what I mean, or making a playoff push while you can get a high seed draft pick? Like, this year's draft is stacked with crazy talent.
Yeah,
just get a bottom 5 pick. Hopefully that you can get lucky in the lottery and get a top 2 or top 3 pick, and just take it from there, man. There's no point of you guys winning these rest of these games and for nothing, because then you're gonna get kicked off first round of the playoffs. There's no point. That's my opinion.
The Maple Leafs.
Anything else, Jose?
Anything else besides that? It was fun to see Ronaldo get back on the pitch and score a couple of goals for all the shit that's happening and stuff like that. I know it was just an exhibition game, but at least he's playing. He seems to be happy there. He has a game, the second game of the season coming up tomorrow. So
well, because of him, they changed the law, right? For him and his girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, they changed everything for him. That guy was they're in love with him over there right now. So,
and me being a Muslim, I know they
when you pay someone $200 million to play soccer, yeah, you're gonna change a lot for him.
It's not just that. It's just that he wants to get some change in Saudi Arabia. They want to change so then they can host the World Cup. That's the whole main of this, is to show that they're changing and they want to host the 2030 World Cup. So that's why
Jose,
he's there. He's sort of the ambassador type of thing, right? So that's why.
Jose, I got a question for you. Do you ever think he'll come to the MLS?
He may. I don't think he'll come to MLS. I think right now, where he is right now, he's making double the money that he would make here in the MLS, triple the
Yeah.
money, and
Yeah.
he's basically living like a king there. And he does whatever he wants, and they're doing it whatever it takes for him to stay and be happy and stuff like that. So I don't
Yeah.
blame him. And he's got a lot of investments. He's got a lot of connections in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. So in the East, in the Middle East, there, he's got a lot of properties and restaurants and stuff like that with those people. So
Basically, what happened, Brian, is that Ronaldo pretty much ended his own career with the way that he left Manchester United, the way he acted in his interviews, what happened in the World Cup, and he knew he had no European opportunities. No, he used to play for Juve, but basically, he, for lack of a better word, he got blacklisted from European football. So he really had no choice but to go elsewhere. And when someone offers you $200 million, guess what? And you're going to guarantee to be playing every game, every minute, you're going to go there. That's what happened. Brian, what's on your mind?
Nothing much really. I just really wanted to pick you guys' brains about, the world versus the States.
Right.
But, however, hold on.
here we
Oh,
go.
Lord. Here we go.
How do you walk out on your team after putting up 40 points? How do you walk out on your team? How? You're playing the Clippers. It's the battle for LA. How do you walk out? I know, Jose, you're not going to like this because I'm talking shit about LeBron. But how do you do that and be respected as an athlete? Because I know, like, we were just talking about Ronaldo, and a lot of people didn't respect who he was as a person and how he treated himself and treated other people, right? How do you do that? Like, seriously. And, like, you're trying, like, if you better be trying to win, because if you're tanking, guess what? New Orleans is going to get that first pick.
That's
and
true.
you get nothing out
Well,
of
the
it.
Lakers aren't tanking.
You get nothing. And the other thing I'm annoyed about is when I go to my feed and I keep looking, all I see is, oh, Bronny's on the McDonald's All-Star game. I don't give a fuck. That kid can't play. That kid's averaging like 12 points a game. He can't play. There's so many other kids that are better than him. But his dad said, I'm going to make a call. Like, come on. That's a form of nepotism that I've never seen before. That is just absolutely ridiculous through athletics in any sport that we have witnessed, and we watch all of them, right? I even watch cricket sometimes. But it's a form of nepotism to have your father to do that and to push you to that upper echelon when you don't deserve it. And to me, I feel that's annoying because there are kids that have busted their ass, right? Coming from a single family home, maybe coming from a crack house, right? And they're busting their ass trying to make this money to better their family. But meanwhile, this kid is already on TikTok going, Taco Tuesday. Like, are you kidding me?
Brian,
I disagree with that. I just think it should be an even level playing field for all the kids that are out there, and like Darwinism, survival of the
I
fittest, baby. Best man wins.
I totally agree with you. But in life, if you always have, in us Portuguese people, we call padrinho, which is godfather. If you always have a godfather in life, you're always going to be set for life. Okay, and that's
I'm
what's
a
gonna and
godfather.
that's what's happening, to his son. Yeah, he maybe not one of the best players, but hey, he was ranked in the top 30 in the ESPN ranking. So he's not. I'm not saying he's the best
That's
in the North.
ESPN.
Yeah, but ESPN is basically the ones that provide these high school kids with their rankings and stuff like that, right? So whatever, it is what it is. But anyways, like, trust me, I've gone to tryouts in Portugal. Okay, I know I like to make like second division teams. trust me, if you don't have agents, if you don't have connections, you're not making these teams unless you're like Lionel Messi talent and stuff like that. There's guys there that were 10 times
Neymar.
better. Yeah, and there were guys 10 times better than guys that made the team, but their fathers or their agents knew the coaches or knew the president, and they would make the team. Like it's just who you know and who and what connections you have, right? And like you said, like LeBron will make a couple of phone calls. He's getting signed to Ohio State. He's gonna get a full scholarship to Ohio State. Does he deserve it? No, but the name sometimes in the back of the jersey, that's more important sometimes, and especially when you have your father
I
like
believe it's
LeBron
on the
James.
front of the jersey.
No, 100%, 100%. The team comes more important than the player, but that name in the back too. When you have when your dad's LeBron James or Michael Jordan or whoever, you know what I'm saying? You're always gonna have that little more favoritism to anything in life than a nobody, right? So
Absolutely.
it is.
So
It is
we've
what
got
it is.
we've got about 7 minutes left. I just wanted to mention this because I almost forgot to mention it. Juventus. Thank you for reminding me, Brian. What is going on at Juventus? Since Ronaldo left that team, they have been in a catastrophic fall. They just got docked 15 points for what is being called falsely reporting transfers. That must be an accounting thing they got going on there. And yeah, so they falsely the runner of the team, Andrea Agnelli, is gone. They've basically gotten rid of the whole board, and they've been sent down to, I believe, 15th out of 20th in the standings for falsely reporting transfers. Man, like it's not even just them. The entire Series A, there is stuff going on where illegal transfers are happening and books are being cooked. And not just Juventus, but that entire league could be in a lot of trouble. This is not the first time we've seen stuff like this from Serie A. A few years ago, when Italy won the World Cup, Juventus got docked a bunch of points, was sent down to Serie 2. Luckily for them, all the Italian players were in their prime, and they got back up very quickly and reestablished their dominance. But this has been going on all through their Scudetto wins, the 9 titles, the signing of Ronaldo, and boy, oh boy, if you're Juventus and the rest of that league, they're in a whole lot of trouble if stuff gets out. So smarten up, play by the rules. You already got enough money. Don't screw around. You got
100%.
You got millions of dollars in debt because of COVID, and you're only making it worse now because you ain't going to make the Champions League. So smarten up, Juventus and Italian football, because you're not going to have much left. We missed the World Cup, and the young kids are going nowhere and going to other leagues, and your entire federation is falling apart. Smarten up and play by the rules. That's all I got to say about that.
Can I just say one thing? RIP to my friend who passed away recently, who's our age, Drew. He was a huge Juventus fan. Shout out to Luciano Lugoso. That's how I started to pay attention to Juventus. That's how I know about Juve.
Rest in peace to him.
Rest in peace.
Josie, did you hear about this story? You have anything to say?
Yeah, I heard
about
about it.
4 minutes. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's just typical Juve. They already, like you said, they already got sent down to the second division already because of this bullshit with the scandals of cheating and stuff like that, buying off
match fixing.
Yeah, and now it's this like I don't understand. Like you're in the top 3 in the standings, and all of a sudden now you're going to the bottom 5. Like that's gonna take a big toll, especially when you lose that money for the Champions League and stuff like that. Just making to the Champions League is $40 million. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
Just entering the group stage.
Can't they come back
yeah,
up?
basically they have
they
to
won't get a
win
spot
out
now.
the whole.
Yeah,
they have to win out the rest of the season. Basically, they have to skip another. They have to pass another like 13 teams to make the Champions League. So it's hard. Yeah. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, and the story's not over yet because Napoli and all the other top teams could be involved. So it might not just be Juventus. So
exactly. So it's probably the shittiest team is going to win the Scudetto this year.
now you understand why Juventus, Real Madrid, and Barcelona want a Super League. This is why this Super League won't go away because they knew they were screwing around. They knew they were short a bunch of money, and they had to come up with this Super League to get out of debt. And boy, when it didn't go through, Barcelona had to start selling TV rights. So
Yeah.
like
And their
so
stadium name.
yeah, so like this is why the Super League happened or what was attempted to happen and didn't go through, and why these teams are desperate and pulling off shit like this.
And you know what? And they're even lucky that UEFA took them back. They're even lucky
That's
that
right.
UEFA took them back into the Champions League, because a lot of
Yeah.
teams like that, if it was another organization, would use that? A Real Madrid?
Not bad,
Oh
not
my!
bad,
Oh, not bad. Eh?
not bad,
Supporting
not
Real
bad.
Madrid. Not bad, not bad.
Actually,
That's
my
okay.
family actually bought it in Madrid.
Oh,
Nice,
there you
nice.
go. Not bad, not bad. All right, guys. So that's our show for this week. I'd like to thank Brian King Hosein for coming on the show. We will be on his show tomorrow, To The Point, discussing our Toronto Raptors, who are kicking the butts of the Sacramento Kings at this point. Jose Carlos Gomes will also be on the show for the first time. So that'll
Watch
be
it.
exciting for us.
Watch
We're gonna
it.
pop
Make
the
sure you
cherry,
watch
brother.
it. Gonna add some
We're
more
gonna pop the
subscribers
cherry.
and viewers because we're gonna bring the heat like we always do. But that's
Damn
our
right.
show for today. So please like, subscribe, and comment. As I said before, guys, we love doing this show. We're gonna have obviously a week off after this. We're gonna bring some other content. We're gonna switch gears, probably cover some other stuff because the football
Yeah, we're
season
not
is
gonna talk
almost
about the
over,
Pro Bowl.
right? Football season's almost over. We're gonna have the Super Bowl show, and then we're gonna have to come up with some new content. But we always have stuff to talk about. Believe you me. So for the Mouth of North Andrew East, that is Jose Carlos Gomes. I'd like to thank Brian King Hosein, our special guest, for coming on. We will see you next week on the Reese Report.